Hey, it's Brett and Coach, and let's try more beer to fill out our passports. And keep watching to see what made me say this. I'm not mad at what I was trying to do, I just expected a little bit more. I would give that a 6. To start off our day, we're at Crushed by Giants, which is one of the sister locations of Corridor Brewing, as well as Dry Hop. So we are going to speed round taste test all of their 6 beers that's in the flight, like it was at Corridor, as well as Dry Hop. We just got the flight, make it easy. First up is the Neon Werewolf, which is a hazy IPA. Nice and fruity, nice and floral. A little bit bitterness at the end, but it's a good balance of it. Really sweet. I enjoy it. I'd probably give it a 7.5. And next up is the Mexican Lager, which is Ay Caramba. Exactly what you'd expect from a Mexican lager. Nothing super special, really drinkable, really light. I'd probably give it 5.5. Another IPA. This one is a West Coast IPA called Cashed Out. A lot less floral, but a lot more deeper, almost crackier notes. A little bit more on the bitter side. I think I prefer the first IPA, but I would give this a 6. This is the Czech Pilsner, which is Gollum. Vaguely reminiscent of the Mexican lager, but I would say the lager had a little bit more flavor compared to this. Bright, not super overpowering, extremely chuggable. I'd give this a 7. The one that I am most excited for is this raspberry wit called Walter Wit. Big raspberry scent on it. Love the color too. It drinks like a juice. Very solid. Subtle raspberry, so it's not overly sour, but still very good. Probably my favorite so far. I would give it an 8. And last up is Caught in the Rain, which it is a summer porter. It says it has chocolate, pineapple, and coconut, so that's mildly intriguing. Good scent to it, smells chocolatey. Usually porters aren't a go-to. This is one of the better porters I've had. It's not too bitter, has a good balance of that dark notes with the coffee, balanced with the citrus from the pineapple and coconut. Pineapple and coconut aren't necessarily the biggest flavors, but it's very well rounded. I would also give this a 7.5. So that was my very quick review on these 6 beers, rapid fire, just because we plan on going to a few different breweries today and just trying to pack everything in. And for our second stop, we're at Guinness. As soon as you walk in, you notice how beautiful the whole building is, from the gift shop to the actual tap room, including the bar in the center and the patio. So we are going to do a little bit of an even more rapid taste test because we got their 2 flights, which is 8 of them total. First up is Clover Honey Ale, which is a golden ale with clover honey. Not a big surprise there based on what the name is. It has a subtle sweetness to it. I get how it has the honey in it. It's not the biggest punch. Light, crisp, easy, 6 out of 10. And next up is Rooted in Clover, which is a land beer. Not much flavor on that either. Very chuggable. I'd probably give this a 6.5. And they were out of the original one for this, so this was replaced with Tri-Line. It's a hazy IPA.
I just recently became certified.
Has a nice flavor at the end of a little bit more florally hops. Drinks pretty clean in the beginning. Direct, to the point, nothing too crazy, but still delicious. I'd give it a 7. And then this is Raspberry Noir, which is a raspberry chocolate stout, the one I'm looking forward to the most. Reminiscent of like Valentine's Day candy for scent. For not being barrel-aged, that's actually surprisingly good. Has a good balance between the raspberry and chocolate flavor. I wish it was a little bit thicker, but with it not being barrel-aged, I understand why it isn't. I would probably give this an 8, very solid. And for our second flight, this is Corn Maze Cream Ale, which it's an American cream ale. Again, big surprise. It's very smooth, very creamy, really nice mouthfeel on it. I don't think it has the biggest flavor profile overall. I'm not getting any specific notes, but it does deliver on the name, so I'm happy about that. I'll give it a 6.5. And then another one that I'm looking forward to is called Salt and Lime, and this is a fruit beer. a subtle tropical limey scent on it. Very good lime flavor. I do appreciate lime beers like this. Very drinkable. Perfect for summer. Could chug this. I would also probably give this an 8. Very solid. And another pale ale. This is Kinsey Street Pale Ale. For a pale ale, I actually pretty much enjoy this thoroughly. Not overly bitter, not overly powerful. Crisp, 7.5. And lastly is the Stratospheric IPA, which is an American IPA. Not my favorite. Very bitter. A little dank to it. I could see somebody that really likes IPAs being in love with this beer. Not for me. I think I would give that a 4. But some definite highlights were Raspberry Noir, the Salt and Lime for sure. I know I gave a couple other ones pretty good ratings too, but I'm glad to try these 8. And we made it here to Cruz Blanca here in Fulton Market in Chicago. I went with the Lime and Salt, which is a tropical lager with lime. Smells very promising. It'll be interesting to see how it compares to Guinness's similar vibe beer. Not as limey, but a lot more smoother and integrated into the beer. I would rate this a lot more chuggable than Guinness. It's crisp, light, refreshing. I'd probably give this an 8.5, which I think slightly edges them out. And then this is Palm Shade, which is a hazy tropical IPA. A lot of floral notes on this. A little bit of orange juiciness to it. I really appreciate the haziness and the color with it. Fruity, sweet, floral, well-rounded. I'd give this a 7.5. Very solid. And for our final round here, I went with Asta Mañana, which is a horchata cream ale. Has a sweet cinnamon scent to it. Has a little bit of that flavor. I think the cinnamon comes through a lot more than like the creaminess of it all. I'm not mad at what it was trying to do. I just expected a little bit more. I would give that a 6. For this West Coast IPA, this is Lunch in Baja. Very much on the hoppy bitter side versus floral and juicy. I think it is too much leaning that way. I don't think it's for my palate. I would probably give it a 5. Just not for me, doesn't do anything for me. Not the biggest fan of that as an IPA. Made it to Haymarket. It's a lot more of a bar vibe, which I don't mind that at all. They have plenty of taps, and it's a decent atmosphere in here. I went with Harold's 83, which is a honey ale, so it is an amber ale with honey. A lot of those ambery notes coming through. I hope it has a tinge of sweetness on it too. It's exactly what it says it is. It's an amber, a touch of sweetness, easy drinking, not something you have to work or almost chew through like some IPAs or stouts. Would be perfect in fall. I would give it a 7.5. And then this is Relief Peacher, which is a peaches IPA. Ooh, that has a big peach scent, almost like gummy peach candy. Whoa. I think this is the best IPA we've had today, or at least I've had today. It tastes like gummy peach candy with that little bit of hop, a little bit of floral. I would chug this. I would drink this at the beach. I am impressed. I would give this an 8.5. That is damn good. So Brian and I kind of have a list of questions that we're keeping in mind that we're going to do an ending video once we visited everywhere, just kind of recapping it. And one of the questions is most surprising brewery, and here might be taking the cake. We walked in and we're like, okay, it's some dive bar, whatever, it's gonna be just fine. And then we had these two and we both went, oh, they're on to something for sure. Expectations blown out of the water. So we will see at the end of the summer if they will hold that spot for most surprising brewery. Couple other questions that we kind of are keeping a running thought of are things like best beer, worst beer, places we'd love to be locals to, breweries that we wish were closer together, best staff, best vibes, those sort of thing. And if you have any ideas for any of the best ofs or worst ofs, let me know in the comments below, and maybe they'll just be added to the list. For our last round of the night, I went with their silver medalist winner at the World Beer Cup, which is their Baltic Porter. Has that good porter smell to it, that deep complexity, maltiness of it. It hits every single classic porter note. Deep, dark, a little bit smoky. I get why it got the silver medal. I would probably give it an 8, just because porters typically aren't my go-to. But this is very solid. If you want a porter, this gives you a porter. Brian got the Indignant Raspberry, which you can clearly see is a stout. This is barrel aged, unlike the one at Guinness. This smells like a stout. This smells soy saucy plus Valentine's Day chocolate. Wow. I don't think Guinness has anything on this one. It's rich, velvety, chocolatey, raspberry, great mouthfeel. This may be my favorite beer of the night. This gets a 9 out of 10. Checks all of the boxes for me for a stout. This is what I want every single Valentine's Day to taste like. I don't know, this may be a contender for best beer overall. It's definitely up there. And with these 2 final drinks that we're working through, I think I'm gonna wrap up the video here. We did get 4 more stickers for our passport, so we're getting close to that 25 mark. So with that, this has been Brett and Coach continuing to fill out my Drink Illinois passport. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a comment below, especially about those questions that I mentioned earlier. Give me a like, as well as consider hitting that subscribe button to help the channel grow. Otherwise, I will see you next time in Coach.